Good evening, everybody. So we are now officially in Mercury Retrograde, and we're getting ready for the full flower moon, which is the full moon for the month of May. And we also have a total lunar eclipse coming up this coming weekend, and it'll be Friday the 13th, and it's just going to be a lot of madness and mayhem. So I wanted to see what advice my cards had for us as just, a general collective, just to kind of bring peace of mind. Basically, for those who don't really know a lot about astrology and astronomy, Mercury is the planet that rules communication. And periodically, usually 2 to 3 times a year, it kind of resets itself. And basically, when that happens, it can often cause madness and mayhem. Some of you might be experiencing it right now. I know there's been a lot of technology issues that I've noticed lately in my own office. So I can't even imagine what it's like for you guys. My personal sensory skills have been on like overdrive lately. I've been super sensitive to my surroundings. I've been doing a lot more scrying recently. I've been noticing very distinct shapes in clouds, like dragons and phoenixes and all kinds of stuff. Shapes that normal people wouldn't I don't think would necessarily see. For the record, though, I've always been able to see very distinct shapes in clouds. It's only recently that I'm realizing, oh, hey, you can actually scry with clouds. So that's another skill that I have. But back to the reading. So I used my Moonology deck, and I used my Queen of the Oracle deck, and I also used my Angels and Ancestors deck. These are the 3 that called out to me. I don't always mix and match decks, but it just is how it happened to be tonight. I wrote out my notes for you guys. So I didn't have to keep going back and forth. And also just so that I could take time to reflect on the cards themselves for myself. Because I have been feeling very anxious as I've had a lot of personal stuff going on. With learning about my abilities, and I've been facing a lot of my, what we call is shadows, and I've been doing a lot of shadow work, facing a lot of my fears. One of them was coming out to you guys as a psychic medium. That was a huge step for me, and you have no idea how much I appreciate all of your support. So now on to the reading. The first card that I pulled says, look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. So you're being called to take a step back and to look at the bigger picture. I am going to go into my messages for you after I go over the cards. This next one from my Queen of the Moon deck is Waxing Gibbous. I guess that's the 4th quarter. Being called to work on your will. The reason why that I went silent is because I want you to focus on the picture. And I want you, now let's go back to this one. I want you guys at the end of this video to tell me what you see in each of these pictures. And I want you to come up with your own interpretations as well. And then this final card is the broken arrow. Embrace the energy of peace. So now I'm going to read you what I came up with. I am also in my Facebook post. I am going to post the book definitions for you for the full extended version. So before I continue though, I did notice some recurring numbers with this. And again, in my post, you know, I'll explain a little bit more about what it means, and I'll give like a little bit of history. But the repeating numbers that I saw with this were the numbers 444, the numbers 333, and the number 1313. And how I came up with these numbers is that I looked at the page numbers that each of the cards are on, and I noted, you know, like if you see this card, it has the number 13 on it, and also the number 4 on it. So like if it had any special markings like that, I noted that on my sheet, which I will also take a picture of. And then, you know, like I kind of did a little numerology, and like I added up like each individual of the page numbers together, and just kind of came up with those numbers that like that. So yeah, I'm still kind of learning about numerology. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I do know that some of my friends are big into it. So I thought that I would make a special note if I saw any recurring numbers. So the message that I took away from these cards and after reading the book was that we're being called to take a step back from whatever situations we're in and to regroup. We're being called to look at it from a different perspective. I want you to try focusing on the positive instead of the negative, which I know that can be difficult, but it's okay. We're being reminded that it's okay to take risks and to go with the uncertainty, you know, enter the unknown, which, you know, that's scary, you know. Like right now I'm kind of in the unknown. I'm scared out of my mind, you know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I've never done this before, you know. This has been a big year of change for me, between getting a full-time job and now these abilities. I'm trying to learn how to manage. You know, I was programmed my life, you know, one way, and now all of a sudden it's at about face. So I understand the change could be scary. Entering the unknown is scary, but sometimes we just have to do it. We gotta put on our big girl, big boy pants, and we gotta do what we gotta do. You know, we're being called to keep an open mind, and we're also being reminded that life is an adventure. And what's an adventure without risks, right? The will card is calling us to assess what we really want and to make sure that this is what we want to reach for. So we're basically being called to set goals for ourselves. And the broken arrow symbolizes peace. It means that you no longer have to fight because peace has arrived. So basically, what I took from all of this was that this will be a time of deep reflection and meditation. And by doing so, you will find peace. I think what I'm going to do over the next few weeks, I've got a whole bunch of meditations and shaman music that I've come across recently on YouTube and also Apple Music. I'd like to share some of those with you, especially for this month, because I feel like this Mercury Retrograde, I'm sorry for the shaking, that this Mercury Retrograde is going to be especially, trying to think of the right term, very deep and thought-provoking there. We're going to be facing a lot of our shadows of our past. That's not a bad thing. In fact, it's going to help us heal. I have a bunch of sound bowls that I'll make some videos for you guys that you can play at any time. I'll post some meditation music for you guys. I've actually started listening to meditation music at work, and I actually find that it helps you focus more. So I think that if I start to share some of that with you guys, and if you guys want to use that, that's up to you. But yeah, just overall, take the time to reflect, step back from whatever it is that you're going through. Take a deep breath, regroup, refocus, and just reassess what your goal is in life. I wish you a lot of luck, and I'm here if you need any further explanation, if you want your own private reading. Yeah. Good luck, and I hope you guys have a great Mercury retrograde. I hope. And the stone that is recommended in this book was hematite. So if you've got hematite, keep it on hand. I need to get some. I don't have any. You can get it almost anywhere. Yeah, so get some hematite. And that's a wrap. Alright, thanks guys.